Yeah. Yeah, somehow we always do end up getting straddled with the PvPs a lot, and if we're lucky, if we've been good, we are rewarded with the occasional PvZ. But yeah, TvZs coming down. I like it. I like how it all panned out. And speaking of panning out, we are going to be jumping into our first map of our best of 5 grande finales here. And it's going to be on Babylon. Over here in the top left-hand corner of the map, running all the way. In the top left-hand corner, we have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion, playing in WTL in like 25-30 minutes from now. Well, okay, I don't think he's the first. I don't think he's the first match. So, yeah, he has a little bit of time. We have ByuN.
Go for the 2 racks. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark.
Oh, I can see it so clearly. The plan from Abydos tonight is win as quickly as possible. The plan for Lambo and Hearthstem would be to buy time, even if they're already winning. You know, they just need to buy time.
That's all they need to do. Meanwhile, this is not a 2 racks opener, by the way. ByuN, typically when you go for a 2 racks, you do make the second racks in the middle of the first one producing, but no, instead he's going for a racks expand setup instead. I imagine going to be going for a 1-1-1 even. So ByuN playing with his reputation a little bit here, and I'm sure you saw that Overlord go back and forth. That's the Overlord doing a double take. He's like, wait, what? Where's the second racks, Bobby?
Yeah. Just visualize that Overlord is Dark himself. He dipped in, went on autopilot a little bit, like, yep, double racks, and wait a minute. Why is there only one?
Oh, you know what, Dark? He smells weakness. He's like, mate, you choose not to 2 racks me? Hey, you'll never make that mistake again, because this means a couple of things. 1, ByuN didn't go for an SCV scout. 2, ByuN doesn't have a Reaper for Reaper scout either. There's no way for him to recognize what's going on, as ByuN is going for a 3rd CC before factory.
Holy
and before the second
hell,
racks.
3rd CC before factory, before the second racks. He's going for a very insanely greedy 2-1-1 here, or 2 racks play coming out, and Dark is about to remind ByuN why you never do this against him.
This is like a spirit build. This is one of the greediest things you could ever do here. It's going to be a 3cc into 3 racks from ByuN. But before these racks can get underway, before we can get any kind of upgrades like stim or combat shields or anything, Dark is going to be knocking down his front door with roaches.
Yeah, marching them across the map immediately. Unfortunately for Dark, you know, he did lose that Overlord earlier on, so he doesn't quite have eyes to see how insanely greedy ByuN is. But like you said, Dark, he knows that there's weakness in the water. He knows that he can just pump out roaches and get something done. Anything done here. It's going to be absolutely huge.
Exactly. We'll see if he can pull this off, because this is pretty committed from Dark. If Dark doesn't deal critical damage, then ByuN is going to be so far ahead. What he's doing right now is illegal. He's another question mark.
Nice.
He's like, what? What are you doing right now? Like, Dark doesn't even know what's going on. He wasn't able to scout the main base either. And again, this is illegal. Dark cannot let ByuN get away with this.
He can't. This is illegal. But who's gonna stop him? Dark has to stop him, because otherwise, yeah, I worry about the state of the meta for the next couple of months.
I do worry as well, mate, as ByuN is squeezing out some Marauders here to defend against this push. Stim and Concussive Shell are on the way. The second Overlord does finally show up, and now the production is under threat. Behind this, Dark is droning, but he's on 2 bases. Like, again, Dark has to do more than just kill a depot and a reactor.
Yeah, Dark hasn't confirmed the 3rd CC. He doesn't know how greedy ByuN has been. He thinks that as long as he drones up, he's going to be ahead economically. Well, little do you know, little does he know that it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly, and ByuN is gonna get into a really powerful stim timing from here. This is gonna hit his three racks is gonna hit like a truck. I do think that he's gonna be able to move out across the map. Dark is gonna back off. He's gonna leave. He's taking a third base. He's taking gases. But I do worry for him. I do worry.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it for ByuN already, but we'll see. We'll see how ByuN executes this. He is purely on a barracks army right now. There's no medevacs to back this up. There's no Widow Mines or any tanks that he can fall back to. So if ByuN doesn't cause massive damage, if he doesn't at the very least cripple Dark, then this is going to be over. Well, I say that, but he does have 3 CCs to fall back on.
Exactly.
This is so weird. I'm here.
Yeah.
I have to keep remembering that in the back of my head. This is not an all-in for ByuN.
Yeah.
He is actually in a better economic position than Dark.
He is. He's ahead. He's ahead economically right now, and he's pushing on 40. He has to be very careful with how he stims the army, as you mentioned. There is no medevac for this, as we see ByuN trying to trade with the Roach Ravager. Thankfully for Dark, he has been able to muster up enough of an army. He is going to deflect ByuN. And ByuN is going to be soon taking that next base. He's transitioning. He is getting up even more production.
Hey, you know, at this point, 3 racks all in would be pretty damn devastating. ByuN confirms that there's no 4th base yet. I don't think he's confirmed that 3rd, but he should know by now.
Yeah.
There is something going on over there.
Yeah, he was looking...
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that he was able to just force Dark to go in a Roach Ravager like this, I feel like ByuN has decided to play the player today.
I think so.
Play the player tonight.
100%. Like, I mean, Dark, he knows that ByuN is so commonly going for these 2 racks openers, and when he doesn't, like, I mean, again, this is such a peculiar build from ByuN. It's so unique. It's so quirky. And he's in a really good position right now. Like, he is straight up ahead economically. Dark's third base was so heavily delayed. He's going to be going into a 1-1 Roach timing. He does prioritize his gases here as well. And interesting, he's actually going to be rushing into an infestation pit. He wants to get into investors.
Might as well, you know, the Mio Micah style. You do know that Mio Micah has a little bit of influence on Dark nowadays. So yeah, that's going to be his main form of splash damage, is those fungals. If he can chain them with some really well-timed vials, then that would be how Dark comes back in this game.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like Dark has accepted that this game is going to go on much longer. He's going to be looking to muster up a force to survive. The infestation pit is now done. We should be seeing infestors soon. Without infestors, ByuN may snowball out of control. But there we go. 2 infestors are on the way. There is no pathogen glands with this. So Dark, he needs to buy time to actually gather energy for those infestors. Without them, there's going to be a window here where ByuN can do damage.
Yeah, a very massive window before any of these infestors have anywhere near enough energy for a fungal.
Yeah, exactly. And ByuN is already here. He's clearing up so much of this creep. We do have Dark trying to muster up an army. Ling, Roach, Ravager here. He's looking to go for a bit of a surround as well, but we do have that stim from ByuN, and there is no creep.
There is no creep. There are no Banelings. There's nothing but Roach Ravager. And Dark is getting a pretty decent concave, but there's just no way you can match the pure DPS of Marine Marauder Medevac on Stim.
ByuN is getting a 4th base behind this. We saw him clean up every single Ling of Dark. He shaved off a couple of Roaches as well, but the infestors have arrived, and Dark is rushing into a hive and that Baneling nest. So he wants to eventually transition into a Ling Bane, into a more Ling Bane centric army, but he has to survive to get there.
Yeah, I question the decision there, but I guess as long as Dark has the resources to spare, I mean, he is still mining pretty well, then he might as well try to look ahead and try to plan for the late game. He does need to survive right now, and his infestors have been gathering a little bit of energy. They have enough for 4 fungals, by the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN did scan and he did see the infestors, so he's going to respect them. He's going to back off for the time being. F's in the chat 4. I think that was the bird. ByuN killed him.
No.
No, the poor bird. And he's going to be going for some drop play instead. He was looking to contain his opponent to 3 bases, but there was no 4th base being taken here, so ByuN has to rotate back around. Meanwhile, he does engage with the army.
And again, as long as it's just Roach Ravager, ByuN is more than willing
Fungal,
to engage
up.
and tangle with his army. Ah, but his attention was elsewhere, and that is a money fungal with another fungal, and all of these vials will connect. ByuN just lost 25% of his army for free.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Dark was waiting for. At the same time, the double jump across the map will get a kill on the 4th base, so both players are hurting in different ways. ByuN lost a massive chunk of his army, so Dark is safe, but Dark also is stuck on a 3-base economy as well because of this triple drop.
Yeah, they are hurting in different ways. Dark physically and ByuN mentally. Emotionally.
The emotional damage, Papi. Aye. To get fungled and to lose your army as a Terran player, I'm sure you understand that there's no coming back from that.
Oh yeah.
The therapy.
That is when, yeah. That's when you start to question everything. That's when you think, I should have done more to save you. My Marines. It should have been me.
No. Well, regardless, ByuN, he backs off. And again, look at his economy. He's on 4 bases. I mean, he's up on bases compared to his opponent. He's up on workers as well. He can afford these losses. Meanwhile, Dark, it cannot. Both players do max out. We do have a beautiful split from this power bomb.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful split over there. Almost draws the weakened medevac back into it, but thankfully he was able to correct himself there. Emotional damage still in him.
It's true. It is true. As behind this, we're getting into an infestation bit, ultras as well. So ultras or Lingbane into Ultra Viper Infestor. We're kind of going all over the place here for Dark, and yeah, like his army is becoming more well refined over time, but as you can see, his worker count's very low, so he's not going to have the largest bank. If he ever takes a bad fight, then he's going to have a hard time remaxing and rebuilding.
Yeah. Dark is taking on an extremely high-risk venture right now, and there is no insurance behind him. He needs to win big, or he's going to lose hard.
Exactly, as ByuN is taking a 5th base and a 6th CC and a 7th CC and an 8th. They're just
an 8th CC. I can count too.
Yeah, ByuN's economy is insane right now. It's actually out of control. He has a large bank as well, but he hasn't been able to utilize it too well yet. We do see Dark has been able to solidify himself. It looks like after that first fungal, ByuN is maybe a little bit too. He's a little bit scared of pushing out onto creep, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's taking things very, very slowly right now, and to be fair, Dark can afford to. Well, I was gonna say ByuN can afford to take things slowly. He can afford to play this out carefully, but you know the time's running on the clock, man. There's only so much that there's only so long that his teammates can stall in WTL.
It's true. As we have a couple of scans, the Ultra Cavern has been confirmed, so ByuN, I mean, he was already working on Ghosts, but he should be working on Liberators soon as well. Ravagers are trying to trade as best they can. This is the other thing, Dark is maxed out. He still has a lot of Roach Ravager. Like, this isn't the most efficient army from Dark, but he's looking for the fungal!
Oh, and he doesn't quite get him. Great EMPs and snipes come out from ByuN. Thankfully, he still has one Infestor left with full energy, and well, like he was saying, he does need to start trading out some of his Roaches, some of his Lings for a much more high-tech army. There's something with Ultralists.
Yeah, we even have a Greater Spire on the way, so we do have Dark just opening up every single attack path if he wants to go Broodlord Infestor. That's available. We have 4 more Infestors on the way, but Infestors, they also do pair well with Ultras, so they can both work out. As we can see, Dark just taking his side of the map, finally getting a good enough, a good base count at least, but still staying on a low drone count. There we go. 10 drones are on the way.
Yeah, all of the money problems that Dark had, all of the resource problems that Dark had earlier on are pretty much null now. Hey, look at that bank. Over 3k minerals and over 1k gas. He has plenty of income now that he's taken the rest of his side of the map.
Yeah, that fungal really did give him so much breathing room, and now Dark just has to refine his army. He's trading well with the Ravagers, but he's got to get rid of these Roaches more than anything before a big fight. You don't want to get caught out with a low-tier army like this. So we'll see how he's able to pull that off for the time being. Again, just poking and prodding wherever he can, just waiting for some of these upgrades to kick in.
Yeah, Neural did just about finish up for Dark. Meanwhile, ByuN has finished up his 3-3. Not a decent fungal, but not too amazing. That was a better EMP coming out from ByuN, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it's
But now we
dark.
got Neural.
We do have Neural. Of course, we can go for the Neural on the Ghost to go for the EMPs. It is possible. It is now available here for Dark. The other thing is that 3 Ghosts did just go down, so yeah, he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful with his Ghost control, his Ghost count overall, as they're going to be so important for him moving on in this game as the creep is getting out of control. ByuN has a good base count, to be fair, but this may come into play as snipes go off, but again, Dark, he wants to lose these roaches.
Oh yeah, he's maxed out, and he just built 10 corruptors. He needs some spare supplies so he can start getting these brute lords. I really appreciate this from Dark as well, by the way. He was investing heavily into Ultralisk earlier on, but then realized there's absolutely no way he's going to be able to break ByuN's position with Ultras. So he switches gears, and he can afford to switch gears at this point.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Broodlord Investor is the composition to go for in this situation. At least he does have the Ultra upgrades, so he will be able to tech into them or transition into them if he does see an opportunity. If ByuN does maybe not invest too heavily into rebuilding his tanks or his Liberators after a big fight, you can go mass Ultra off of that.
Yeah, it's a very expensive way to remax, but a very potent one at that. Brute Lords are coming into play now and just pretty much wiping out every single tank one by one.
Ooh, yeah, a couple of snipes are going to be going off those. Yeah, a couple of Brute Lords will be going down, but for the most part, Dark just asserted himself here. A couple more snipes. Oh.
And a couple of Bungles as well. 2 very high energy ghosts will be going down.
Yeah,
it's not too many snipes or EMPs left with this army.
Yeah, these Ultras are getting a bit out of hand. 2 tanks, 3 tanks go down in the blink of an eye. A couple of snipes are going to be looking to punish this, but the Fungals are real!
The Fungals are real, but unfortunately there's not much of a follow-up. Banelings were a little bit too far behind. Still though, all the tanks are going down. All of the Ghosts do get caught out.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, Dark's starting to break this.
He is kind of breaking through. He just lost a massive wave of these Corruptors. Sorry, of these Broodlords, though. If we look at the Universal stat Banelings, they're going for a bit of a run by. They're trying to pick up whatever they can. But 6 Broodlords went down for 9 Ghosts in the end. And again, these Broodlords are going to get the hell out of here. And there is that Ultra Remax.
But just like so. We're getting so late into this game, by the way, that we're hitting the point where ByuN is transitioning to Ghost Mech.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Thor is the late game composition you want. Meanwhile, Dark, I don't know if you noticed, but you mentioned it yourself. Ultras are a really expensive transition. Dark did burn the majority of his gas bank in making all these Ultras. 7 Ultras are on the way. And the worrisome thing is that we still have a lot of Ghosts left over. Like, we can still trade fairly well against these Ultras, at least off of Creep.
Yeah. Ah! I keep forgetting that Dark has a classic Ultra skin.
Oh, yeah. So thin.
So tiny. So thin. Yeah. They need to eat more.
They do. They do. They haven't had dinner today like some of us.
Oh. Let's say dinner.
As the Ultras are going to be going for a run by instead, which I do appreciate. At the same time, we have another Ling Bane Ultra Force here towards the south, looking for a way in. The Ultras are going to try and take down this planetary.
And they should be able to. There just aren't enough SCVs to really repair them. 1 Ultra at the very least will go down. Every single Ultra is going to go down here. So yeah, very expensive trade for just 1 base. So wasn't... Yeah... I was gonna say it wasn't mining that much, but then I see that. Then I noticed that ByuN just lost 15 SCVs. It's because of these Brute Lords here. Yeah, this is funny to look at.
Brute Lords are doing what they can. The Ultras, they picked off a fresh mining base as well. So Dark is slowly being pulled apart, and unfortunately, he just doesn't have an air unit to deal with these Brute Lords either. So a bit of an awkward position here for ByuN, as he did commit hard to the Thor Ghost. But ByuN is expanding here towards the southern portion of the map instead, and he's going to be looking to push forward here. He still has a very large bank to work with.
Yeah, unlike Dark, who, like you said, pretty much burnt his gas bank entirely. He did get a lurker den, if I'm not mistaken, earlier on. He
did
not, actually. I was just seeing things.
And you saw the Hydrogen, I'm sure. And, you know, if you see one,
Yeah,
you typically see the
probably
other. As the Baneling's going to be rolling on in towards those Thors, but the Ghosts do kite back very well here. The Baneling's going to be going down, but the CC does fall.
Yeah, a lot of Hellbats go down, but thankfully for ByuN, he has kept his high-tech units alive. Twas just a diversion, though. And it's like you said, Dark was hoping to take out that base more than anything else.
Oh no, the Ghosts!
The Ghosts do get caught out. A lot of them will go down, but a lot of other Ghosts will start sniping the Ultralists. Very expensive losses on both sides, but we'll see who's able to keep up with these losses.
Yeah, exactly. As Dark loses his Ultras, he's actually remaxing on Ling Bane, so he isn't going to be spending as much of that gas on those Ultras as he otherwise did. Meanwhile, good positioning here. These Brute Lords are finally going down.
Finally. Dark has supply for other units now.
Exactly, and he is forcing such a massive Ghost army to be built. I do really appreciate the Ling Bane transition of Dark, but you can see he's still maybe a little bit indecisive. He's still not quite remaxed yet. He's still figuring out what exactly he wants to be going for, and what unit composition he should have right now.
Yeah, I mean, mass Ling Bane isn't a terrible idea. You know, you can jump on top of these siege up tanks. You can take out these Ghosts as they try and fail to really take out anything else. But the problem is we do still have a couple of Blue Flame Hellbats here on the map.
Yeah, like the fact that Dark hasn't remaxed yet is telling me that he's a little bit indecisive. And I don't blame him. He's like, do I want Brood Lords? Do I want Ultras? Right now, he's just sticking with Ling Bane. And it looks like he's catching ByuN completely out of position. The majority of his army is here towards the top part of the map. And these bases are so exposed.
Yeah, well, the bases are exposed, but the tanks definitely are not. Looks like ByuN will eventually lose his Planetary Fortress, but that was still a pretty dang efficient trade for him.
It really was, and we do see Dark losing one of his fresh mining bases towards the north as well. It does feel like ByuN has just been a little bit too efficient. Oh my god, the EMPs!
That's the Neural and the EMPs you were talking about. ByuN still has a couple of Ghosts with energy, but nowhere near as much as he'd like to at this point. All of a sudden, things are swinging in Dark's favor. I wouldn't be... I was going to say I would favor Dark in a head-on engagement, but I didn't notice how many more Ghosts ByuN had in the chamber, and neither did Dark, because once they revealed themselves, he taps out immediately. GG. ByuN takes game number 1 of this best of 5 series.
GG, well played. Such a wild game overall here from our two players. If you remember, ByuN had such a greedy start to this game, such an economic start.
I already forgot about it, yeah. If I'm being honest, I already forgot how greedy ByuN was at the start of this game. He got away with it, and he ended up winning an ultra late game. This was, or not quite an ultra late game, but a late game. Yeah, this was absolutely insane. ByuN played Dark so well in game number 1.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that he has more up his sleeve for game number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
I'm sure he does. As you were saying, like, ByuN got a really solid lead at the start of this game, and he never quite let it go. Even after that fungal where Dark was able to stabilize, Dark was staying on a really low drone count, so he never really had the best economy here against ByuN. ByuN was just trading so well. And we saw even towards the end here, Dark had a really hard time figuring out what he wanted to do, just because he knew that he was behind economically. He knew that ByuN was so heavily fortified as well. He decided to go for like a Ling Bane run-by or massive run-by army instead, and yeah, wasn't quite what he needed in the end. GG, very well done there by ByuN.
Very, very well done. And we'll see if that continues here in game number 2. Once again, he does have a match in WTL tonight, so...
And not anymore.
We'll see how many more... we'll see how many more late games he has before he has to, you know... Before he has to switch over. But regardless, we are going to be continuing our best of 5 Grande Finales here on Ancient Cistern, where we're here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Shopify Rebellion, both here and in WTL. He is ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. We're back to normal.
Oh boy. Oh.
And here,
for now, anyway.
For now, as ByuN is going to be going for his famed 2 racks opener, the opener that we should have seen last game, but we didn't because ByuN was crazy and wild. And the reason why this is such a terrifying opener is because ByuN is so flexible with this. He can go from this 2 racks into a 3 racks mass Reaper push. He can go into a 4 racks all in off of 2 bases, or like I say all in, but pretty committed push on 2 bases. Or it can go into a 2-1-1 from here with a 3cc with a natural behind it as well. So there are definitely a lot of avenues that ByuN can go for, and it can be sometimes difficult to kind of keep up with what exactly he has in store for the Zerg.
Yeah, it's not just that it's a very safe way of walling off your natural base earlier on. It's not just the fact that ByuN is an absolute monster with his Reaper control. It is the fact that you have a lot of versatility with this build. It is the fact that at the flip of a dime, you can decide, you can scout your opponent and say, okay, they're going for roaches, I'm just going to throw down a bunker and get some marines. It is, you also have that flexibility of saying, okay, they are droning up heavily in the early game. I'm just going to get more Reapers and maybe a couple of Hellions to punish that. It opens up so many doors for you as a Terran player.
It really does, and we can already see the beginnings of this. So ByuN, he only makes 3 Reapers. That is the standard amount of Reapers to make here. You're going to be containing your opponent. You're going to be ideally delaying this 3rd base, and we'll see if he's going to be able to do so. This 3rd is taking a lot of hits. Behind this, it is going to be that 4 racks follow-up, and Dark dives into the main, and he does scout this.
Yeah, this could be a lot scarier than it otherwise would have been here if you're Dark.
Yeah.
KDA charges being thrown down. ByuN really wants to, at the very least, cancel this base, and he will get that cancel.
Does get cancelled in the end, but again, as you're saying, that was a very important scout from Dark. Link speed is about to kick in. The other big reaction from you is you don't pull out a gas when you're against this. So a 2nd cancel on that 3rd base.
And these Reapers are just looking to kite. There are Queens in the high ground, which are going to help out a ton. Reapers do get trapped a little bit. 2 of them go down, and all 3 of them go down.
Yeah, but
they have arguably played for themselves already.
100%, mate. I mean, look at the minerals lost here. Over 300 minerals here just because we had to cancel this 3rd base twice for Dark. So very well worth only 3 Reapers. Meanwhile, we are transitioning into that 4 racks. Now, this isn't all in, but this does have to do damage. Like, we are delaying our factory production, we're delaying our starport production, we're delaying our 3rd base here in favor of a big push hitting with stim and combat shields. And because Dark saw this ahead of time, he saw the production in the main base, he should be aware exactly of what ByuN is doing.
Yeah, this is a follow-up that doesn't have to be all in, but you might as well go all in at this point. Pull the boys, ByuN.
Oh. We'll see if he does. I mean, ByuN typically does go for a transition off of this as well, but it's going to be heavily reliant on how much damage he gets done, and there is that factory on the way. Delaying our 3rd base for so long here, ByuN is, and yeah, meanwhile, Dark is just happily joining up back at home, double expanding to make up for his delayed 3rd.
Yeah, might as well. You know, he knows that he has the map control for the time being at any rate, and yeah, as long as his Baneling Nest finishes up in time, he should be able to mount a defense against these Marines that ByuN is throwing his way.
Yeah, you need to cut workers pretty early on, and there we go. The Ling has gone down. Dark should be cutting workers here at around 50, which is sensible. We've got Queens, we've got Lings. Baneling Nest is on the way as well. And upon seeing the defense here, ByuN shouldn't commit. He has to be careful not to throw this away. If he does throw away all these Marines, then he's going to be so vulnerable to a counterattack. Up,
Yeah, if he throws all these Marines away, then that's pretty much going to be it.
Ooh.
Nice little bit of start stepping here from ByuN, and these
Done it.
Queens have such low energy. There's no transfuse. ByuN is going to kill them all.
Yeah, every single queen's going to be going down. The mineral line is forced to evacuate, and ByuN can hunt down all these drones as well. This is an insane amount of damage. He doesn't quite go for the workers. He turns back around to hunt down the queens.
I was going to say, he has another stim. Only one queen remains. That queen is so traumatized. Holy.
Yeah, Dark just did not have enough to deal with the thorax, and this is enough damage to transition as so many queens have fallen. A lot of lost mine time here as well. These Marines will be cleaned up, but so worth it.
Beautiful kiting, yeah. Oh. There's enough damage to transition, and he was looking to get even more. There was a very high possibility of that hatchery going down. He's already remade his Marine count, by the way. He is not going to be waiting for any tanks or medevacs. He's already going across the map with this little force of Marines.
Yeah, here we go.
Good God, ByuN.
The second wave is upon us. This time the Baneling nest is done and Banelings are on the way, so the likelihood of this push doing damage isn't as high, but we have medevacs joining the fray. There is still no third CC, bear that in mind, so ByuN is still very committed here.
Yeah, that was enough damage earlier on to transition, but ByuN's not transitioning. He's not getting that third base, so yeah, he's 100% looking for a bit more damage. He's gonna have a tank and a couple of medevacs to meet up with the rest of these Marines, so this should do as much damage as earlier on.
Yeah, this is pretty all-in from ByuN. This is for no third to be on the way now at this point. Like, he is looking to straight up end the game and snowball, and he's already killed so many queens, and the queens haven't been remade. There's only 4 queens left, 1 for each base, and this hatchery is so under threat.
Yeah, Baneling speed isn't done yet either, so they are vulnerable to tank fire, or even just getting sniped by these Marines.
Up!
Like so.
Oh, and there it is.
GG is called. ByuN. He is something else today. Micro on point as usual, but his builds are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Takes a 2-0 lead, and now he only has 1 map left to get the big W.
Exactly. Dark, even though he scouted the 4x follow-up, he had Lings in production, but he just wasn't ready in time. He did engage with ByuN's army a little bit too soon, a little bit prematurely. He needed a couple more seconds to make more Lings, so he could actually have a buffer for his queens. It looks like ByuN, he scanned, he saw the opportunity, he just stimmed right on forward, cleaned up all the Lings, and then got so much more after that. So very decisive play there out of ByuN. Very risky play as well.
Yeah, very risky play, but you gotta take risks when you are when you're a wanted man. In WTL, I should say. Yeah.
Exactly, and now ByuN, he needs 1 more game to become this week's champion. Dark has to fight back tooth and nail here to bring it to the ace match.
And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I'm liking Dark's chances here, as we are loading into Neo-Humanity, a map that 100% favors aggressive play, especially aggressive Terran play, and that's exactly what ByuN has been doing tonight. And not so much in game number 1 versus Dark, but in game number 2 and in some of his other matches as well. He has been as aggressive as we expect him to be.
Oh yeah, exactly.
As we load in now onto Neo-Humanity for game number 3, potentially the final game of ESL Open Cup Asia number 179. As okay, I'll keep my eye on the mini-map there for that SCV. Okay, so I go across the map as over here on Neo-Humanity in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We of course have our red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. He woke up and chose violence. He is ByuN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo-Humanity, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming down in this series, looking to fight back once again. About to be 2-raxed. It is Dark.
Now if you're Dark right now, you gotta be having some question marks in your head.
He had them in game one, mate. What do you mean? Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, exactly. I mean, Dark, it isn't the first time he's experienced a 4x from ByuN, but alas, he just wasn't ready for it. Maybe game one did frazzle him, maybe game one did sap away a bunch of his stamina as well, because it was quite a long game at that, and it was a bit of a slow death for Dark. So we'll see if he can bring it back. Meanwhile, just because ByuN is opening up with the 2x doesn't mean he's going to 4x this game.
Yeah, all it means is that it's likely that he's going to 4x. Yeah, it actually doesn't mean that either.
It's one
it is an option. This is the beauty of the 2x opening here.
Yeah, exactly. There are a couple of possibilities available here for ByuN. It looks like he is going to be going for that natural base behind this. Oh, never mind. He may be looking to. Okay, he's going to be going for the natural.
Yeah, how could he not, really?
Boy, as the first Reaper makes it across the map as well. The Lings are here to keep him busy, though, and the Reaper shouldn't be getting any drone kills.
Yeah, circling kill here and there, but apart from that, not too much. Reaper's going to meet up with another Reaper, but by that point, Queen's going to be out, and I don't see ByuN getting too much more damage with only 2 Reapers. I say that, but I did see that happen many years ago.
It's true.
With some really good micro.
Again, if you want to emulate this yourself, it is going to be the 2 racks into only 3 Reapers. Now we're transitioning, and he's doing it again.
Yep. On a much better map for it at that.
Not just that.
Dark
this time Dark doesn't slip out a drone, so there's no third at all. Dark is being contained to 2 bases, and he cannot break out to take a 3rd base until link speed kicks in, which is going to be in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, very, very shortly. Meanwhile, I don't believe Dark has been able to slip into the ByuN's main base of an Overlord.
Checking the vision, Dark, he dipped in and he saw the racks being built, so it looks like he has confirmed the follow-up. He knows that it's going to be a 4 racks again, but he knew that last game and it didn't even matter.
Well, you know, maybe this time he is a little bit warmed up for it. He will, be able to tighten things up a little.
100%. I do think he's going to take it more seriously. I do think he's going to be cutting drones a lot earlier as well, just because this is on Neo Humanity. Last game, he went up to 50 workers. I do think that this time he's going to drone up to maybe 45 or 40-ish drones before he does start link production.
Yeah, it's important to have that base.
It really is, as the other added thing is that this time ByuN keeps the Reapers alive. Last time he lost them, harassing and keeping the 3rd base as low as possible. And Dark is actually going to be going for a Roach Warren instead.
I like this. I like this a lot. Not a direct counter to the Marines, but it's definitely going to keep them busy for quite some time. It's definitely going to allow these Queens to have a little bit more, get a couple more volleys in. I'm loving this from Dark. He is doing everything that he can to just delay that push from ByuN now that he knows that's coming. Yeah, this is such a nice reaction here from Dark. A nice adaptation of this map as well. He knocks down the rocks. Ooh, this is a bit of a bug, by the way. I don't really know what triggers it, but every now and then, whenever these towers get knocked out, these rocks here on the left-hand side have half HP. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate here for Dark.
Yeah, I think Asher and I, we noticed it last week, but we don't know like what parameters it takes. As ByuN is pulling the boys. Oh, let's go.
He is pulling the boys, and he's going straight for it. This is it's a little bit unfortunate.
It's what you wanted.
This is the game that Dark decides not to go for. Yeah, this time Dark decides not to go for Banelings, so these boys are going to be even more helpful here.
Oh my god, as you were saying, Banelings make boy pools so bad in this matchup, but here against Roaches, they're amazing. The Roach Warren is going to be going down. No more Roaches are available here for Dark, and ByuN is stutter stepping into the main.
So decisive. Such decisive play coming out from him tonight. Such insane strategies coming out from him as well. And then the mechanics, the macro, and the micro just bring it all the way home for him. He is able to stick the landing But very nice micro from Dark as well, keeping just enough of his roaches and his queens alive. He was forced to give up a lot of his drones, but he is on 3 bases, so it's not as bad as it is for ByuN here.
Well, the scary thing here is that Dark lost his Roach Warren as well, so this is his army. Like, he cannot rebuild those roaches. He is down to only 30 workers, and ByuN is not stopping, and the army of Dark isn't getting any bigger.
Yeah, 8 Lings are on the way, and that's all he can really afford. Got a couple of transfuses on these roaches, but there's just way too much DPS here for ByuN. Man with gun. Pretty OP. Nice little bits of micro here from Dark, but again, I just don't think it's enough to overcome the sheer DPS of these Marines.
I mean,
8 more drones go down, and Dark is still in this. He's rebuilding that Roach Warren.
He is. He definitely is. I don't know if you noticed, but ByuN target fired at every single roach. There are 0 roaches on the field right now, and he is reinforcing. He's looking to hit once again with this push. What do we have to defend? We have 3 queens with no energy for transfuse. We have 14 lings as well, and 6 roaches are on the way. So it looks like ByuN is going for another pull.
There we go. I was gonna say, if those lings get a really good surround in this Terran army, then I think that ByuN will just have to tap out, but alas, this army got a lot beefier all of a sudden.
Yeah, now we have marauders, and now roaches. They're not going to hold a candle to this. Concussive shell is done. 1 roach goes down for free. The boys are here to help buffer. Killing this hatchery isn't going to be enough, but ByuN, he is here. He wants the army. He wants the roaches.
Yeah, he's stepping. He's getting on top of everything. These marauders are doing making very, very short work of these roaches, and these ling reinforcements aren't going to cut it.
Yeah, the Marines, they deal with the lings.
3-0.
Yeah, the target firing from these marauders was insane as well. Every single roach and queen does go down. The hatchery will fall as well. And ByuN, in such a stylish manner,
he still has a couple more reinforcements coming down.
Yeah, I mean, his economy is still pretty good. GG gets called.
GG gets called. That clean sweep deserved multiple GG button hits because, oh my lord, good game, very, very well played here from ByuN. Playing the player a little bit in game number 1, having a lot of very interesting builds up his sleeve. He has not only gotten to 3-0 against a player who has been his nemesis for quite a while. You know, there was that rivalry between ByuN and Dark going on pretty much since the start of Legacy of the Void, but the way that he won tonight was just something that I haven't seen in quite some time, something that I haven't seen from ByuN in a very, very long time. He's going to be on a plane flying to Sweden later on this week, and and I expect him to just bring out something else over in Jönköping.
Oh yeah, GG, very well played there by ByuN. In a very ByuN fashion, he just annihilates Dark and takes the 3-0. Oh boy, and no one else does it quite like ByuN, as you were kind of pointing out as well. It's just, he just has such an aggressive flair to him. No one else goes to these Jiraxes like him. Like, we saw Gumiho try to emulate him. If you remember earlier today, Gumiho was trying to do his best ByuN impression, but no one can do it quite like him.
Yeah, he really can't. I mean, and that was where it all went wrong. I still remember quite a while ago in the WCS Signature Series, Gumiho was saying, like, man, I always envy Innovation and like players like Innovation and ByuN, and I always wish that I could play like them. But then I realized, you know, I just have to be true to myself. That was where it all went wrong, Gumiho. You tried to emulate ByuN again when you had to be true to yourself.
There it is. There it is. GG, well played. With that, we are done here for ESL Open Cup Asia, but we're not done for the night. Asher is currently casting Lambert versus Dongregu. Game 2 of their best of 2 in Shopify Rebellion versus Abydos in WTL. ByuN is going up next, so thankfully he does win this tournament just in time.
Yeah, we were worried that Harsem versus Creator would have to go first, but apparently not. Everything aligned tonight for ByuN.
Exactly. So I hope everyone enjoyed this broadcast. Exclamation mark socials in the chat if you want to follow us. And if you are not satiated, if you want some more StarCraft, if you want some more ByuN, we're about to turn the stream off, then turn it back on, and we're going to be casting ByuN in another series in World Team League. ByuN is about to begin versus his opponent versus Nightmare in a TVP in a couple of minutes. So again, we're going to be turning this stream off. We're going to be turning or resetting the delay as well. And I'll be back with Asher for some World Team League.
Yeah, we will see you all then. I'll be in the chat as well. Just continuing this ByuN hype train and this hype train in general. So yeah, we will see you all then.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a couple of minutes. We're going to wait for Lambert versus DRG to finish because Asher is currently casting right now. So we'll be posting a link in the chat if you want to tune into Asher's solo casting. I think he may be casting with Kura. I'm not too sure. I think he may be solo casting. ZVZ, oh, I feel sorry for for Asher. But yeah, we are going to wrap things up here and make sure we're good to go.
Indeed. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.